Welcome back to WagerTalk TV. I am Ralph Michaels, joined in studio with Mr. Drew Martin, Drew Martin Bets on Twitter, and my partner in crime on our Sports Grid TV show, Teddy_covers. If you guys don't watch us daily, sportsgrid.com, download the app. Teddy and I, from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific, we talk about gambling and where you can find edges every day. Guys, we're talking Auburn and Florida. I think Auburn now has put themselves in the national title contention by their 5-0 start, 5-0 against the spread, but a tough road game against Florida. Teddy, take us away on the Tigers against the Gators.
So there are a lot of different ways to look at college football. Some people look at stats. Some people look at matchups. I watch a lot of college football. You know, I spend 14 hours every Saturday. I got a bank of TVs. You guys know what my office looks like. And I sit there by myself. I have my computer, and I watch a boatload of college football. I got 3 games on at all times, and that's what I do every Saturday all college football season. So the eye test, for me, is something that's important. I've seen both these two teams play multiple occasions. Auburn's better than Florida, okay? They are. They're better on the offensive line. They're better on the defensive line. They're better in the secondary. And offensively, I think they're a lot better than Florida. I don't know how the Gators are going to score points in bunches here now. And you might have to score points in bunches, especially if Auburn plays fast. So my gut reaction is I ain't going to take Florida in this game. It's Auburn or pass. The problem is the point spread. The one thing you talked about. Auburn's not just 5-0 straight up. They're 5-0 against the spread. And now we're talking about laying. They can't win the game by a field goal. They got to win by more. The price isn't right. It's just not right. So I'm going to lean to Auburn. That's the only way I'm going to look at this game is Auburn. But when it actually comes down to getting to the betting window, laying -3 with Auburn, I don't know if I could do it, and the price isn't right. So for me, it's going to be a pass.
You know, Drew, Gus Malzhan has said, I've got this offense going. I'm calling the plays again. I'm happy where it's going. And we saw last week it really did. Bo Nix, the true freshman, took over, and the offense looks like it can stay ahead or keep pace of what the defense is. You put those two things together, and they're a scary team. What do you think of them going into the swamp?
I think it's a tough ask for a true freshman quarterback on the road, a tough place to play. And also keep in mind the 2 times that Bo Nix has played outside of Jordan-Hare Stadium, he struggled a little bit. You know, in the neutral site game against Oregon, also at Texas A&M, he didn't look that great, Ralph. Teddy brings up the fact, 5-0 ATS, it's right, but keep in mind that Tulane game, they were pretty shaky, and also the ending there with Oregon, so not sure, how much to put into that stat. In terms of this matchup, though, and by the way, this is a great rivalry game. It's kind of one of the downsides of conference expansion in Auburn and Florida not playing as much each year. It's been since 2002 since Florida's won in this rivalry. However, keeping in mind that the true freshman on the road, tough place to play, I think that does matter. It's what's kind of keeping me off of here, betting Auburn. But the fact that if you look at a weakness for Florida, Ralph, it's probably their offensive line. And having your weakness be the offensive line, going up against the opposing team's strength, their defensive line in college football, that's a terrible matchup to have. And on top of that, it's likely the #1 defensive line in the country. I agree with Teddy. I think Florida's going to have a very tough time scoring. I would look towards the under here of 48 and lean with the Auburn Tigers -3 in the swamp.
I'm going to play devil advocate real quick. So playing Oregon in Jerry's world and coming from behind and winning the game, and then going to Texas A&M, as your third start, is it enough to prove as a true freshman you could do this?
I just think he's looked shaky in both of them.
Fair enough. That's why I'm asking. I think he's improved, and I think those experiences clearly helps him moving towards this week.
Well, he's also relied on a very good defense and a lot of playmakers on the outside. Not that he can't do that here at Florida, but also keep in mind the Gators' defense is very good, likely the best defense he's faced as well. So I don't think Auburn's going to have that easy of a time scoring.
Well, we all agree, I think Auburn's the better team. Learning to win and cover in a Florida situation, in the swamp is something that we're not ready to bet on, though. But, guys, don't forget, any 5% best bet is backed by a 150% wager buck guarantee. You will get 150% back of your purchase price and credit to use for any weekly or monthly package for that handicapper. We'll be back with more big game breakdowns at WagerTalk TV.